to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulation.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Gentlemen, how are you?
I am good. I cannot speak for Isis. Isis, you care to speak for yourself?
I'm doing great, Mike.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. Dude, I just went out on my porch, and I've noticed that for a week now, sitting there is a brand new Yellow Pages.
They make those.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I had no idea. What is the point to the fucking Yellow Pages?
You know, I think Gab mentioned the other day that she just explained to Russell what the Yellow Pages were, and it must have been precipitated by receiving our own.
It's smaller.
Yeah, I've seen those.
It's condensed version, that big giant encyclopedia-like block you used to get.
Yeah, they used to use.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What's the number for Domino's Pizza? Domino's.
Domino's. Yeah, but it used to be like people would fight for that's why AAA is what it is, because it wanted to come up first in the Yellow Pages under A, so it was like, oh,
AAA roofing, AAA electrical.
AAA everything, but I'm like, this has to be a gag of some sort. Like, who is that for? Is that just for ancient people? Like, I don't even know what the point. I mean, talk about being behind the times. Like, what, honestly, is the point to the Yellow Pages?
They're not even printing tickets anymore, Mike. Did you hear about that? LCA next year for Red Wings and Pistons. Yeah.
It's infuriating. I went to, I think I saw Steve Poltz at the Arc, maybe, in Ann Arbor. And it was like I had to print this fucking piece of paper and go there. And I saw they actually had tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like,
want one of
no,
those.
you trade this for that. And they were really, do you remember, E, you were at that show with me. And I was like, I want one of those stubs because it was a really cool looking stub. It was different. And I was like, and they're like, maybe come by after the show. And I forgot to.
That
but
fucking
this sucks, man.
I will. Sorry.
It does. I know it's a small thing, but I've been posting lately ticket stubs of shows that I went to.
No, I paid.
Tomorrow's going to be a doozy.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, go ahead.
I paid. Sometimes you can pay extra to have them ship a real ticket. And then also, if you can't do that, I'll even drive to the venue because for
you did that at Joe Louis.
Well,
you were buying Green Day tickets.
Well, yeah, but also service fees are terrible.
Yeah, you've done that for the Palace.
The idea of paying for if you're buying more than one ticket for sure, dude, you can get 2 for $3 essentially if you're buying 3 tickets and you buy them there as opposed to paying the fee. But then you also get the stub, and I don't even mind paper. I don't even mind paper. But if it all goes electronic on your phone,
I hate the paper.
Yeah, I don't like the paper.
I don't like it.
You have
But
all
at
the
least
ads on the side.
Yeah,
and House of Auburn Hills, and then you have the thing right in the middle.
I don't like it. But if it's at least but if it's all becomes all electronic, then that will really suck.
Yeah, that's the deal. You're gonna have to show your smartphone.
I wonder what. Yeah, I've done that for shows where it's like I hold up my phone. Yeah, here it is. Here's the UPC.
Yeah,
and it's like you have no I have
you screenshot it maybe. Keep that.
I guess, but who's going to do that? I don't want to do that. I have tickets upstairs that are just folded up pieces of 8x11 pieces of paper, and it's like
you don't cut them out.
Here's the Motley Crue show I was at. I had great seats, but
it's really cool to have it. Yeah, to have that little piece of cardboard or card stock.
Yeah. It's gotten thinner and dumber, but some of them are really cool, and I've really enjoyed going through my ticket stubs. Holy shit, this was 30 years ago. I went to this show. And it's now, it's what are you going to pull out a 8x11 that you just printed yourself? Boring.
Yeah, you've been posting some of those, on Twitter? Or Facebook,
I've been doing it on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, yeah. And I don't know how that comes off, but a lot of them, I noticed a lot of them have XXX where the price is.
Oh,
which means
got them for free.
Yeah, I got a lot of them free. Well, you work at McDonald's, you get free Big Macs. You work in radio, you get free concert tickets. What are you going to do? But I think it's cool to look back at some of them are really
the police
bad.
one yesterday. I didn't remember that show, and that's probably the last time they toured together, right?
Yeah, and they hadn't toured forever before that.
And that was 2007, I believe.
Yes, it was. And that was in a suite, I think. I didn't pay for those either. I know the price tag on it said $230.
Yeah, they can say whatever price they want when it's a suite because it's just no one's usually, almost nobody is paying for a suite ticket. You're getting it through a corporation or.
I'm glad to see because I thought I was a nerd keeping all that. I kept movie ticket stubs and a lot of things that I did, and I'm glad to see that I'm not the only one in the room that's
I think
dude, who cares about
we've all
those?
done that. It's the only thing I keep. I don't collect anything else, and it's just easy enough. I just throw it in a box in my drawer.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people probably do that. Like main sporting events they go to, probably not movies, but
yeah, movies. I didn't do that for all of them, a lot of them, but I'd like to look back now and be like, oh, this is the day I went and saw Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure at the whatever AMC in Livonia. You know, I mean that's kind of cool.
For $2.99.
Yeah, yeah. They had dollar movies a lot of times back then at the Livonia Mall. You go there and it was like, yeah, the movie's been out for a month or two, but you know you could see it here now for $1.
Sound like a bunch of old timers here.
I know, don't we?
Yeah, talking about the good old days.
Yeah.
Hey, Anthony Gabarra and the hottest sales staff in Oakland County are fired up.
Gabarra?
Anthony, Gabarra, and the hottest sales staff in Oakland County are fired up about Zott Ford's summer sales event and the pimp-ass deals that go with it. Zott Ford has 0% financing for 72 months and up to $2,500 in rebates on select new Fords. Plus, at Zott Ford, you can lease the brand-new 18 Ford EcoSport starting at $122 a month, or lease a new 18 Ford Escape as low as $137 a month. See details in their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Hey, as I was scrolling through, going down memory lane with my ticket stubs, I got a notification that it's Hope Braverman's birthday today. And
you'll have to remind me.
Probably doesn't mean much to
Hope
anyone out there.
Braverman.
She was a girl that, I went to school with at one point, like in grade school or middle school, something like that. Really cute girl. And she, the part that you guys will recognize is it was her house that I was going to when I ditched my mongoose on someone's lawn, because I was probably 15 or 16 at the time and was like, man, I don't have a car yet. I'm going to look like a douchebag rolling up on a bicycle. Much better to be on foot.
So he ditches his mongoose, the mongoose that his parents bought him for probably $500, right? With mag wheels? Sweet mag
absolute
wheels. Yellow
mag. And at this point, I mean, by the time I ditched it on someone's lawn, I mean, I had new grips. I had fucking the ball protectors. I had pegs on the back wheels, so I could do wheelies standing up and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was.
So somebody got a sweet mongoose.
Oh, did they ever? And we had a listener that.
Dude, after you told that story a couple of years ago, somebody wrote in and was like, I found a mongoose in Livonia.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wonder if that's true. Somebody did.
Yeah, somebody walked away with that mongoose. It's just...
And it was in good shape, too. Uh-huh. It was no Diamondback, but it was, mongoose.
What was the hierarchy there? Was it mongoose to diamondback to red line?
You could Bing this. You couldn't Bing it back in the day, so I don't know.
Well, nowadays, I think Huffy bought the names, the brand mongoose and diamondback and shit, so it means nothing now. Like if you're, it's one of the cheaper bikes out there. Mongoose, yeah. But back then, that was the shit, man. The BMX, mongoose, diamondback, etc.
There was
Fuji.
Fuji, yeah. Fuji
I remember
was big.
Dave Kennedy had one of those.
Expensive, weren't they? Yeah, back then it was just a different world, and like there were so many years growing up where it was like you had Huffies with a banana seat. You know what I mean? You didn't want a basket on the front. You didn't want the flag or anything like that. But it was when we started to get into like materialistic bullshit, it was like, son of a bitch got a mongoose for Christmas? What?
Well, it did precede the car, right? I mean, it was what you had to roll around, and it sort of was your identity for a while there.
It sure was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the cooler bike you could have.
Doing kickouts, bunny hops, riding wheelies.
Oh, yeah.
But you never had a...
No, I had an old shitty thing. I don't... Whatever.
Thank God you didn't give a shit about materialistic things.
Oh, I would have liked one of these.
Talking about, or
there's a badass. That's a dope Diamondback, dude.
No, I would have loved something like that, but I just we couldn't afford like a cool bike for.
Yes, you could. Your parents are just cheap.
No, okay, sure. I'm telling you, my parents couldn't afford to buy me a $500 bike when I was 10.
Yeah,
they couldn't.
I think they've led you to believe that, but I don't know, man. Yeah, the Diamondback was sweet. That's a cool looking bike. That one looks kind of souped up, all gold and black. But yeah, anyway. So happy birthday, Hope. You're the reason I don't have the mongoose. Trying to impress you all those years ago. Anyway,
God, when you said Hope, I thought roast beef immediately. Thinking
That's
Solo.
sad, yeah.
Now I'm gonna think.
Solo.
Now I'm gonna think roast beef and mongoose.
Yeah. It's too bad. Oh God, I don't want to see that vagine ever again. She's got to be horrified that picture exists, doesn't she?
That series of pictures. It's not just one picture.
Dude,
if I recall, there was like gaping butthole and everything. It was just gross, man.
Dude, if you're doing a selfie of your own crotch and you go, oh, that's what it looks like. I'm about to send this to someone. Boy.
That was a sick series of photos.
Yeah, it was troubling to say the least. Golf fans, we're all big golf fans, right? Get into that.
I mean, I'm not a big fan, but I like to watch it.
Dude,
sometimes.
They amaze me.
Yeah, they are amazing. And I'll admit, it's kind of boring to sit down on a Saturday or Sunday and watch, unless it's something Tiger's killing it in.
I actually think it's less boring than people realize. I think
I agree with that, E.
Everything people think like, oh, what is this? Now we go to the 5th, now we go to the 12th, now we go to the 9th. If you're really paying attention, it's just not as boring as you think. Like,
yeah, and you're amazed by their shots. These guys are amazing. Phil Mickelson, known for his flop shots. Did you see the video of him today?
No.
Going around. He's known, these guys can take like full swings and just launch the ball in the air 3 feet. And you're just like, how? Like, I would skull that thing and send it going 200 miles an hour into someone's yard, But
Isn't he really known for his man boobs, if we're being honest?
Well, yeah, probably.
Old lefty.
Yeah,
but he's known for this shot, huh?
In the golf world, if you're not, trying to rag on him for his giant titties, he's known for his short game and flop shots. And so they've got the British Open they're warming up for, and he grabs this guy, a bystander, and he's like, "Yeah, you stand here 2 feet from his ball," and he takes a swing and he's just gonna lob it right over the guy's head.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, check this out. It's pretty sweet.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. On your head and have an arrow shot at it.
Isn't that crazy? What happens if he just misses for whatever reason? It just blasts.
Oh my God.
Is there another angle of it? Look how much he's swinging though.
Just wails it into his nutsack.
The guy's at least covered his balls.
He does move a little bit.
Oh yeah.
He flinches a touch.
As a human being.
Yeah. I know.
Isn't that crazy, though? Here's the problem with this. People are absolutely going to try to do this.
Yeah.
And they're just going to destroy each other. Like, people are going to be taking this shit in the face at full force or the shins.
Yeah, you might want to try it with, like, a Lindell cutout first or something like that.
Yeah, or one of those wiffle balls.
Sure.
Do it with one of those. But I imagine a lot of dentists will be happy when it's like, yeah, me and my buddies were trying to do the flop shot like Mickelson. Yeah, he's been doing it for 40 years.
Wow.
And you tried it starting this week, and that's what happened.
After a few beers.
Yeah, after a few, exactly. E, would you do that if I said, dude?
No, fucking
I'm going to set up, because, dude, I've got a pretty good short game. I'll be honest with you.
You said that's your worst part of your game on this show.
No, putting, not my short game. I can get out of a trap pretty good, and I can do a flop shot. Why don't we try it after the show? We'll have you set up.
Short game include putting. That's kind of always been my feeling, but
that is
whatever.
Chipping and putting is your short game.
Yeah.
Then you have your mid-range game, and then
earmuffs. E. Jade, I just want E to line up 2-3 feet in front of me and just crank him in the nuts, stomach, face with a ball. Okay.
Okay.
Like that's the point. Yeah, my short game blows, dude. Including chipping. Anyway, all right, E, you can come back now. So yeah, we'll give that a shot after the show. Like I said, strong short game. I'm confident that I can just lob that thing nicely over your head.
Okay.
All right.
Aren't there trick shot artists that are not pros that go around and do just amazing shit?
Yeah, there's guys that
throw balls up in the air and clobber them, and then
bowling too. If you ever go through and watch bowling trick shots, dude, oh my
pool,
God.
Billiards.
Yes.
The billiards ones are crazy.
I saw some
dude.
guy. Somebody tweeted at me the other day. Ping pong trick shots, just unreal
where you
stuff.
can put enough backspin on it to have it bounce back over the net to you, that kind of stuff.
A dude, I don't know, put some sort of flint, I guess, on the ball, and he shot it over and it lit a match as it was going by this match.
Like sparked it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, they're amazing. There's like a whole golf tour. Like that's a big deal. The biggest drivers, where guys, it's like they suck at golf, but they can absolutely smoke a golf ball. They can outdrive the pros, and those things are kind of cool. But it's like, dude, you've gotten good. It's like,
how can you be so good at that aspect of it, but yet not hone that in to at least be bottom of the barrel tour guy?
Dude, it's the guy.
Or like Kickalicious, right? Kickalicious, who was this unbelievable rugby kicker, and the Lions signed him as a free agent, remember? And he couldn't make field goals consistently. Like, dude, how are you kicking them into sunroofs of cars going by at 35 miles an hour? Yeah. But you can't hit the uprights. It's just weird.
It is weird. You would think that if you had that gift, like, dude, because some people just have a lag. They just do, and they can work on it and hone it. It's like, dude, if you have that skill, Why wouldn't you
where's
do
the
that?
disconnect? I don't
Yeah,
get it.
it's weird.
I understand, very technique driven, just boom, boom, boom. You're like a machine, like Jason Hansen,
Yeah.
over and over and over. But why can't that guy who can train himself to do all these tricks train himself to just be that machine?
I don't know, because the guy you're talking about was the one with like a shopping cart would be pushed by, and he'd just blast 150 yards and into the shopping cart.
Yeah, or he'd kick a soccer ball up in the air, and then he'd kick a football at it and hit the soccer ball. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, man?
Yeah, you'd think that guy would just be pinpoint, but it's who knows how many attempts it takes to get there. It reminds me of this guy I used to work with who had the most amazing buys you've ever seen. His biceps were incredible. He only did curls every day. He only did curls.
That's
and it was like
very common. The little birdie leg guy, yeah.
But it wasn't even like, oh, I'm doing chest today. Today I'm doing lats. It was just he would wake up and he would do his 100 curls. And I'll give him this: he had amazing buys.
That's the funniest guy at the gym, honestly.
Yeah.
That is funny shit to see that.
Dude, what are you doing?
Beach muscles.
Why are we doing this? It's like,
I know why.
Look at
To
this.
show his
Look.
green thing.
What'd you say?
To show his green thing.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
he can walk
Look
to
at me.
He can go to the beach and he
Yeah.
can go like this.
Yeah.
The best is when you see them and they can't even like they
But the
literally
point- the
can't put their
point-
arms down.
Yeah,
they cannot just put their arms at their
Yeah.
side.
But it's
They're
like
always
the disconnect that you're talking about. It's like, dude, you're disciplined enough to do this
Yeah.
every day. Like, you're disciplined enough to do that for years. Why wouldn't you be like?
I think there's like a psychological body image thing that tricks in with that, like the like anorexia. I think that guy's probably seeing himself like, oh fuck, he's not as big as he actually is.
Yeah, that
and he's
happens.
probably thinking like, man, if I skip my day on this and focus on my legs, my arms are gonna shrink.
Gonna
You know?
turn into noodle
Yeah.
arms. I can't have that. I better just fine, do your 15, 20 reps and then get onto the legs, man. No one, that bird leg look is
Do a
just
squat, man.
come on. We're better than this. Work on that core a little bit. Let's tighten everything up. Come on, dude. Anyway, did you guys pay any attention to Home Run Derby or the All-Star game?
A little bit. I saw
Did
Bryce
you?
Harper won the Derby, right?
Yeah,
And
I hear
Mike
that.
Trout.
I hear it was awesome.
Yeah,
The Derby
he
this
came
year. I didn't
back,
watch it.
apparently.
There were a couple other guys that were in a shootout, like 20 home runs in one round or something. I can't remember who it was, but boy, oh boy. So after they do the Home Run Derby, and we all remember this from when it was in Detroit, the next day is the All-Star game, which was last night. And poor Josh Hader, the relief pitcher for the Brewers.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see him?
Fabulous hair.
Yeah, not a big fan of that. A lot of those relief guys, what are they going for? The Randy Johnson look?
I don't know, man.
It's kind of weird. Don't they all, like, there's a lot of them that have that crazy long hair.
Is it Lincecum?
Lincecum
from
did, yeah.
Giants. God, that bothered me.
Yeah. He was sweet, though.
It's like too straight or something.
So as this guy's pitching last night in the game, it's like, oh, in case anyone didn't see this, by the way, he's got a lot of racist tweets and homophobic tweets in his background. Let me just put these out here for everyone. And they lay this out while he's on the mound.
like the broadcast does it or just
No,
people on
like
Twitter?
on Twitter.
Okay.
And it goes viral as shit immediately. He like gets off the mound like proud of his look what I did out
Yeah.
there. And they're like, Josh, can we have a word really quick back here? Just wanted you to be aware. And he's like, oh no. Dude, it got to the point where his family and friends are in the crowd all wearing their Hater jerseys, and they're like, yeah, why don't we bring you some blank jerseys to put on over
Oh, my
these?"
God.
Like in the crowd during the game. It was going so viral.
Lots of haters.
Yeah, good point. See what you did there. And then people were seeing like after that, like leaving the game, and they turned their Hater jerseys inside out and were wearing them backwards, leaving the stadium. Like, I don't want any association with this guy. And so he's alerted to the firestorm, and he came out after the game and locked his account and said the posts were from 7 years ago and stemmed from immaturity as a young man when I was 17. There's no excuse for what I said. Deeply sorry for what I've said. What's been going on. It doesn't reflect my beliefs going on now.
Well, give us some examples, Mike. Like, what's the type of thing he said?
Well,
that's where it all. What are they?
well, you can see 17-year-old, so he's apparently grounded at this point. He says, yeah, ha, ha, yeah, too bad I'm fucking grounded. Niggas can't do shit. And I don't know if he went with
The AH. Yeah.
Yes, or if it was ers,
Right.
which would be a big difference. And then someone else quoted, who's an N-word? And he retweets that, and he says, wow, haha, nah, who am I getting? I was a little nigga, ha, 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 ha.
Well put.
And then we've got a nice one here that this goes back to August 2011. I hate gay people.
Now that one, that's a little rough to me. I mean, honestly.
I don't know what was happening that day
was a little
that
rough.
led to, you know what, I got to go on Twitter and let people know that I hate gay people. But he did.
That one's tough.
Twitter is so bad for you.
It just is.
What good comes of it? Oh, my God.
Oh, don't forget October 25th, 2011. I don't give a damn. I'm triply, nigga. Fuck my lungs. Fuck my liver. So I don't know what.
He got shit faced and was smoking.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. But triply N-word, I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah, maybe that's grounded, drunk, and high. I don't know. And then at some point on February of 2012, he felt the need to just put the white, yellow hand up like this. You know, kind of like think the
Black Power.
Mexico Olympics with the black guys that won medals and held their fist up. That hand symbol. White power, LOL. Why do that? And then
He's racist.
one of my favorites was going back to 2012 February again, and this was, let's see, so if he's the 17th.
he's 24 now.
So the same day, suck my dick, I'll murder your family. And I don't know who that's referencing or what. Being 17 years old, you make stupid decisions and mistakes. I was in high school. We're still learning who we are in high school. You live and you learn.
Aren't these guys like typically born with flamethrowers for arms? Like, you know, when a kid's like 14 that he's probably going to be a major leaguer, has
Or
a
when
really
he's
good
8.
chance. Like, shut the damn Twitter down, man.
Yeah. What do you're so right. Like I watched the special on Stafford, and I can't remember if he was 5 or 7, but the refs would like gather around this
Yeah,
little
watch him.
5-year-old, and it's like there's video of him. He's throwing the ball 50 yards as a 5-year-old. He's just. It's like, yeah, sign him up. That kid. Most kids are throwing it 20 yards at that age. He's throwing 50-yard bombs as a 5-year-old. It's like that's special.
Yeah.
Make sure he doesn't fuck this
But I mean,
up.
what are you supposed to do for kid 17? You know, as a parent, you're going to go shut down all his Twitter accounts? Like,
Yeah, I just
can recommend it certainly, but
yeah, I guess like those guys are so few and far between. They're just special, you know. They're not special people, better than anyone, but they've just been gifted something special. You would think that those guys who have to work so hard to get there, and if they want to take it to the next level, they got to work even harder, and then even harder to get to a pro level. Like you would think they would be very, very aware of that. And it's like, oh, putting the N-word on my Twitter account is probably not the best thing. Like, I'm going to need every break I can get to the next level. I'm going to need support from a lot of people.
it's so funny.
It's
I would
just
say,
amazing to me that
It's either-
at 17, like if he was 12, whatever,
yeah, but
fine.
You remember how immature we were at 17, you know?
But we didn't have flamethrowers for
I
arms.
understand,
I
but-
would just think, like, if you were on the
You know, you
verge
mix
of that.
in the idiocy of it, you mix in alcohol, you mix in, you dabble in some racism maybe with this guy.
Sure.
And, you know, he's just immature. See how it happens. It's amazing, man, that like you say, you can't step back and go, okay,
Yeah.
life is long here. I'm going to look long term.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
know.
tough for
I'm
16, 17, 18.
I'm trying to give kids the benefit, you know, of like, come on, dude. At 17, though, like at 17, you're looking at colleges, and you're,
Yeah.
you know, if you've got a rocket for an arm enough to make the majors at some point, like, you would know that what your trajectory was, you know, and obviously people aren't paying that much attention to your Twitter account at that age, but
I really
boy, oh
wonder
boy,
like
it's-
how people found like why did this come out now? Like it's honestly
you
like
know,
did
he's
someone-
only been in the league 2 years.
So do people like
And so
see his
probably
name?
people were sitting on it going, as soon as he gets in the limelight, fuck him. I'm taking him down to Chinatown. You know,
I mean, I
obviously,
wonder-
you don't wait till the guy's put in the All-Star game and then like, oh, by the way, there you go. You know, yeah, it's tough, dude. And we've talked about it many times. It's something that you worry about with your kids and try to really press to them like, dude, your life is visible now to the where ours wasn't.
Yeah, it's
Pictures
just hard.
and video.
It's
and-
hard for them to appreciate. And I remember this too, to appreciate like your life is way beyond high school. You know,
Yeah.
it goes on for a long time. And
Isn't that funny?
there's things that you can do to really fuck that up.
I wonder why that is. That it's probably just because life has been so short to this point. That's all the reference you have. But it's
Well, your
really,
brain literally isn't developed fully yet.
Yeah.
As a teenager.
But like, I remember that feeling of like, this is so important. So and so needs to like me. I need to be friends with him. He's cool. Like, I remember having those feelings as a kid. Like, and it literally the day you graduate, it's over. It doesn't matter ever
Who was that
at
person,
all.
Mike?
I don't. Probably you. I'm kidding. I don't know.
Oh,
I
who was
just,
that person, Mike?
I
You
don't-
remember the feeling?
I'm not gonna.
No, go ahead.
I'm not gonna give names out
Come on,
now. But
Mike.
I remember there was a kid who had, dude. He just had the coolest fucking hair. Like his hair, he was able to get that. Remember when the just perming the back of your hair was sweet, and he had a killer Cosby sweater. And it was
Yeah.
like, dude, if I could just have Matt's hair,
Yeah.
all would be good in the world. Like I wouldn't have to worry about.
And the hair just kind of rode on top of the collar of
just
that
like-
sweater.
it
Just kind of
looks-
bounced along with
It
it.
just looked so easy.
Yeah.
It just came naturally to
The way
Matt.
the chain laying upon his chest.
And I think back now, it's like, you know what? That motherfucker's probably spent 3 hours getting every curl right and the proper amount of,
That is a
grease
funny
to make
thing when
it
you're a
look
kid.
wet.
You do have this thought that you're right. That you have this thought that when you see other people that have it together, you just assume
It was
that they're-
easy.
Oh my god, why
And
is
that
it so
they
hard
actually
for
have
me?
it together.
Right? Why is it so hard for me? They
Nobody
do,
really has
and
it
they
together.
fucking probably spend more time than you ever even like anybody doing it.
But
Like,
Matt was different, dude. Matt was different. It just,
Where's Matt today?
I don't know, but
What's his last name, Mike?
I can't remember.
Uh-huh.
The certain amount of curl and gel, like gel was important. You didn't want that drippy gel look or that
There's a body
over wet
to it.
look. There is. And if it dried wrong and then you got that blowout flare
Did he have the
frizz,
turtleneck poking out from the Cosby?
occasionally,
Yeah.
and this was in the hot Cosby sweater days, and it was like he just like whatever he wore, the shoes. It was like, damn, dude, I wish I would have fucking thought of wearing penny loafers today. It looks tits with the pinned jeans. It really does. And I would struggle. I'm in third period, like fuck, why does my thing keep coming undone? Matt's didn't. His were just tightly pinned, rolled properly. It was just beautiful, and it was like, God, if I could pull that off head to toe, I'd just be a cooler guy, you know. And I haven't thought about Matt until this very moment since I left junior high school.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, it's
you wish they had some perspective, right?
yeah. Well, I wonder how this plays out long term because this is literally going to be able to burn every kid that had social media their whole life. Like, there's something you posted that
yeah,
that
but there's
fucked you
different
over.
degrees, though. I mean, there's flat out racism. I mean, that's a problem, dude.
Yeah, but a lot of these guys will lean on. Look, I'm sure some of this was rap lyrics of things I was listening to at the time. If you look, this doesn't make sense on paper, but we've seen that before. And it's like, oh, that's a Jay-Z reference to a lyric, And I'm not saying it's right, but at least give some context because you look at it out of context. It's like, oh, he just dropped the N-word 3 times. Why would you do that?
Okay,
It's like,
but
well,
if there's not rap lyrics that match that, is that flat out racism?
yeah, it sure
Going,
sounds
I hate
like it.
ends.
Yeah, gay people. Yeah,
Well,
I hate
then-
gay people.
Okay, well, that's a problem.
Yeah, it is. However, we have friends that we know quite well that are kind of ashamed at the way they were raised with, a racist father, for instance, and said horrible shit growing up. And then as they got older and more mature and went, you know what, my dad was fucking wrong. This is the behavior I was taught growing up, and I know you know who I'm talking about. And it's like that person now is just like, dude, that was fucking bullshit. The way I had such a warped perspective of things. And so do you go, when he was 15, he said this.
Oh, you
Fuck
need to
him.
explain it, though.
Yeah. Well, he tried to explain it. I'll take whatever comes my way. I'll be responsible for the consequences. I really don't know exactly what all is out there. Some of it was rap lyrics. Some of it was, just rap lyrics being tweeted. Some of it wasn't. He doesn't vividly remember that. I don't know that I could vividly remember a note that I gave you when I was 15.
Yeah, or a phone call.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just it's a different world, and I wonder, because this is the first generation that's come up having to go, oh, shit, I just got this job at SNL, and now something I said when I was 15 is being thrown in my face. I wonder how that affects, like, going forward, like, when your kids have kids, how they, I don't know. It's just something that's new nowadays that we're seeing. Speaking of Home Run Derby, you sent me this, Jay, and I haven't seen this yet. I wanted to watch it live.
It's old, but it was rebooted on a website recently. This home run derby farce in Japan. I guess they got what they got. They had Giambi,
Jason Giambi, and Barry Bonds and Bernie Williams.
Yeah,
Bernie Williams with the Yankees.
Right.
Yeah. And so they're doing it like in Japan. Like if you ever want to go down the rabbit hole, YouTube game shows in Japan, like they're hilarious.
Yeah.
They take it to another level altogether, and they do the same, I guess, with Home Run Derby, where yes, we're not just gonna have someone throw you ball and you try to hit it over the wall.
Easy.
We're gonna give smoke crowd. So as soon as we throw ball, puff of smoke so you can't see ball. Now hit it out of park. And I guess it's hilarious seeing the video. So we've got a young Bernie Williams here. I'm not sure.
What year is this? Do we know?
2002.
Okay.
And it was a Japanese TV show, like I said, featuring Bonds, Giambi, and Williams, facing off for a home run hitting contest. So here's
these first ones, I guess, of your first few are like there's like smoke or something.
Okay.
I'm just trying to say so you don't just like here we go.
消える魔球に挑戦。なんと宮本がボールを投げたその瞬間、草むらから煙が、まさに魔球。煙に隠れて見事にボールが消えた。
that ball up and laces.
Ball one. ボールワン。なるほど、ストライクゾーンに投げろということですね。
Come on, pitcher.
Ball two. なるほど。緊張するな。若干宮本和人も緊張しております。やはりバリー・ボンズに投げるということで緊張。ボーラー。おっと、ちょっと宮本さん、ちょっと緊張してません？
Chicken.
何しと言われてしまいました。分身魔球。
Setup that the smoke is coming out of, and Bonds is.
顔のそっくりな双子の兄弟が同時に振りかぶり、どちらか一人がボールを投げる。ルールは1打席勝負、ヒットを打てば OK。 参りましょう。バーニー・ウィリアムスは左バッターボックスに入ります。スイッチヒッターのバーニー・ウィリアムス、分身魔球。モーションが一緒だ。どっちが投げるんだ？来た！お兄さんが投げた！来た！お兄さんが投げた！全く困惑。ちょっと参ります。全く同時にモーションを起こす。今度は鋭い打球！いきなり鋭い打球！分身魔球3球目を投げたのは左の手の初めて目の当たりにする魔球。想像を絶する投法にメジャー軍団が衝撃を。実は谷田君、高校時代は野球部、大学ではトランポリン部に所属。2つの得意技でハイジャンプ魔球をものにした。史上最強のハイジャンプ魔球でメジャーリーガーたちと真っ向勝負。球はどちらも打てるか。来た。B は打てるか。来た。おーっと空振り。打てるか。来た。おーっと空振り。打てるか。来た。おーっと空振り。すごい角度のボールであります。すごい角度。いるかジェイソン・ジャンビと同じ1打席勝負、ヒットを打てば OK。 成田君が飛ぶ。果たしてこのハイジャンプ打球をホームランにできるかジェイソン・ジャンビ。投げ込んだ。打ち上げた。打ち上げた。高々とその時打ち上げた。高々と高め。
All of them are so high you can't. They're all too high. You got.
彼は言っていました。いろんなものを見たけれどこんなボールは見たことない。谷田君がモーションに入る。さあいつ投げるか。果たして谷田君のバリー・ボンズ用 秘密兵器が登場。
彼は言っていました。いろんなものを大概見たけれど、こんなボールは見たことない。成田君がモーションに入って
空中でさまざまな回転を続け、ボンズをじらしにじらす。タイミングを外されたボンズはあえなく空振り。メジャー最強バッターがこのままハイジャンプ魔球の前に敗れ去ってしまうのか。
この余裕が成田君ちょっとびっくり。崩しにだ。何か成田君が打たれんな。そして打たれんな。
成田君の秘密兵器に対し、ボンズもイチローのモノマネという秘密兵器を繰り出した。果たして勝つのはどっちだ。
さあ余裕のバルーン。さあ余裕のバルーン。さあ余裕のバルーン。まさに文句なしのスタンドへ。
Yeah, that's way better than what we do. You know, we can put that in our. We can put a link to this if you want to watch it. It's like a half hour long. But
by the way, all the videos we watch on the show are on our show post at DetroitCast.com.
Exactly.
Hey, insurance, we all need it, and most of us don't even know what kind of coverage we have or who provides it. Well, let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasik from Wasik Insurance Services change all that. Brent has over 30 years in the business, and he offers all types of insurance coverage: auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. Call Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900 and get a free, no-obligation quote today. Again, that's 734-455-1900.
Hey, did you see Terrell Owens was inducted into the Hall of Fame
T.O.
this year with Randy Moss. People were like, what? Can we put two wide receivers in the same hall class? And it was like, yeah, sure you can.
Do whatever you want.
I didn't know that was an issue.
Yeah, it was. Because people were like, well, it was off-the-field antics. It's like, dude, whatever. He killed for years. He was top receiver in the league, whatever. But anyway, he's what is it? You have to be out of pro football for 5 years before you're eligible for the Hall, I believe.
Sounds right.
So now what?
He's 45 years old.
He's going to make a comeback.
We heard rumors that he ran like a 4.240. Like
they weren't even rumors. Right? We watched the video. Yeah,
I don't remember watching the video, but
I'll
take your word for it.
Was it a 4.2 or 4.4?
I don't know.
Whatever it was a sub 4.540. I mean, he still had the speed, and yeah, he's 45 now. His agent has confirmed to USA Today Sports that he has legitimate interest in coming back to pro football.
CFL.
Key pro football.
The Owlets.
Nah, it's the Eskimos.
The Stampeders.
Nope. The Eskimos.
The Hamilton Tigers.
Nope.
Tiger Cats or
Eskimos. Which one did Flutie play for?
Oh man, I don't know.
Didn't he have a kind of a decent career in the CFL for a while? With one of them. Edmonton Eskimos.
Argonauts?
Yeah, the Argonauts.
Wasn't the Rocket Ishmael went to the Argonauts, right? Toronto.
Yeah. So he's activated his 10-day signing window with the Eskimos. The signing window gives the Eskimos until July 24th to either negotiate a deal with him or release his rights.
What about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers?
Yeah, he doesn't want to go to Winnipeg.
Saskatchewan Rough Riders?
Yeah. Oh, Rough Riders are pretty big. That was a big name for a while.
Yeah.
There's probably some names.
It seems like, honestly, I'd have to look. I could look it up, but I feel like, honestly, with the CFL, there's like one team that's won a shit ton of the championships. And
what's a red-black? What's a red-black?
That's a racist term for a black person and an Indian.
Indian-black mix, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if I don't know what it was, but probably a black
it's
guy
the
banged an
CFL
Indian.
team in Ottawa. That's what it is.
Racist.
The Red Blacks.
Yeah, the owner of the team probably is a black guy who probably banged an Indian at some point. It's like, yeah. Going with the Red Blacks. There might be a different reason for that name. I don't know, though. You want to see Terrell Owens run that 4.4?
Yeah.
4.440? It's pretty impressive.
45 years old.
For a 45-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
I know he got down there then. I got 4.5. You got 4 for what?
Yeah, he's a big dude. Always look like that. How official is
I know he got down there then. I got 4.
But one of them
like
was
his
like
brother,
Julio
his
Jones
best
or
friend and
something.
manager.
Yeah, and maybe.
Oh, is that Julio right there?
I think so. I think Julio Jones was with him at this. You know,
Julio Jones.
Julio Jones. I don't remember anybody taking issue with that. Like, no, that's not fake.
Yeah.
People seem to think that was legit. if you're the Eskimos, why wouldn't you take a run on a
Right.
guy like this just for putting bodies in the seats?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's got to be worth enough.
Sitting up there in Edmonton.
Yeah. You know, even if he blows, it's like, well, just do autograph signings with the crowd after the game. You'll be fine.
Right.
So,
Holy shit, they've had 105 Grey Cups. Like, that's been going on for a shit ton, dude.
yeah, it's a long time. Who's won the most of them, E?
I'd have to look here, but I'm looking at the...
The Eskimos.
I have to see who's won the
Argonauts?
most. Yeah, just give me a second.
What are you, 45? Like, to me, okay, you're playing pro football. I get it, but is it NFL or bust? Like,
Toronto has won the most with 17 champions, followed by Edmonton with 14, Winnipeg with 10. Winnipeg Blue Bombers have had the most Grey Cup appearances at 24.
Wow. And they've only won how many?
They've won 10.
10 of 24. All right. It's not as bad as the Bills, or but
Yeah, not as bad as the Bills. You're exactly right. They've won about 40%.
yeah, this isn't terrible. Are you impressed with that, though, if he comes back and plays in the CFL?
Listen, man, I'm going to turn 45 this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
I'm very impressed
You
by
didn't
that.
think well,
I am
we've never seen you on the field. Maybe you could go out there.
I'm very impressed that a man my age could go and compete at a professional level in any sport.
You don't think you could do it? I mean, you're worried about your
don't.
Achilles, dude. Your big hang-up is your fucking Achilles. If you could get
I'm
over...
afraid to move quickly.
If you could get over your the scaredy cat nature of you with your Achilles heel...
God,
you were a decent athlete. You're no T.O., but...
It was no T.O.
I don't know why. I'm like, just get on a shitty NFL roster. Don't, CFL is cool. It's fine, but it's not.
But, dude, see,
The NFL.
what if he wants to do whatever he wants to do in his own life? Maybe it's cool.
You think he doesn't want to be in the NFL? He'd prefer to be in the CFL?
I'm not saying that.
Let me ask you this. Is there an NFL team that would sign him?
At 45, no. Not for more than a
Okay,
gag.
so...
Yeah.
So
But
maybe
that's
what if
that's
he
the only
wasn't-
reason I'm like, okay, I read the headline. Whoa, he's thinking about a pro career. I'm like, oh, cool. That'd be great.
Clickbait.
Clickbait. And it's like, oh, the Eskimos. Yeah, that's cool, I guess.
It's like Gordie Howe
think
doing a
he-
shift with the Vipers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I
yeah.
actually
And
don't
having his
think-
wife sign your jersey.
I think you're really weird at times, Mike, with your
I do
judgment
too.
with his judgment of people and their decisions on their life. He's like Mike is very do your thing, man. What makes you happy? And then it's like
I'm not telling him not to do it. I'm not
no,
saying
but
he
you're
can't do it.
saying
He's
Just
saying
saying-
there's inconsistency in Mike's thought process? After 5
How
years,
dare
you're
both of
noticing
you.
this.
How dare both
No,
of
I've
you.
noticed it in other things, but just sometimes it piques me more than others. And this is one where it's like, dude, if the guy can't be in an NFL and if he knows he can play and he's going to get to play, maybe he just loves playing the game. Like, that's the thing. Some people, that competitive nature never leaves you, and this is a chance for him to play at
Sure.
least a somewhat competitive level, not just some flag football with some
All I
drunk
said
guys.
is I'd be more impressed if it was an NFL roster. That's all I said.
Okay, well,
all I
again,
said.
maybe if he's...
I think he said, why doesn't he sign with an NFL team?
But if
He's
he's...
like, dude, I
well-
don't think they want him.
Yeah.
See, I'd have to look at his net worth, but if he's been at
No,
all
I
smart
said
enough...
I said you don't think he wants to sign with an NFL team because he was like, well, he's doing what he wants to do, and I'm like, you don't think he wants to be on an NFL roster?
But I think he wants
mean,
to play. What if he wants to play? And if he's, I had to look at his net worth. But if he's done good enough in his career that he's like, he'd rather actually be on a team and play than just sit on an NFL roster and not play.
Let's say he's realistic and knows nobody wants to sign him in the
That's
NFL.
true, too,
Maybe
though.
his manager has poked around.
Yeah, maybe.
Of course it would.
I know, but
Be more impressive if he ran a 4 flat 40.
That's a great point. Why doesn't he just run a 4 flat 40?
I don't know.
That would be way more impressive.
Tell
for a
Julio and his
45-year-old
buddy
man.
to hit the little stop. It was just 0.4 sooner.
Just move those cones up 10 yards. Then I bet he could do it. Oh, man, we're getting more information on the Jaguar that escaped.
Yeah, Valerio, was it?
Yeah.
ooh, I was wrong about
Valero.
that net worth thing. According to the celebrity net worth, Terrell Owens' net worth is $100,000.
Is that right?
So that
What went Ari and Terrell's life?
Wait, I'm almost positive he made more than that in the NFL. Almost
according to
positive.
this salary history is that he made $66.8 million.
Yeah. So why isn't he worth 60? He should have doubled that by
Yeah,
now. Merck could have
absolutely.
easily.
Merck, woo.
Every 5-6 years, Merck could double that shit easily. So he should be worth what, 120 million by now?
I don't know.
Is that a typo? E?
Doesn't. I mean,
Anytime you see a guy doing like a reality show,
Oh, yeah.
it's like, ooh, Tom Brady isn't doing that.
Well, he has to, for one, it says here a little bit, Terrell has described how he is currently required to pay nearly $60,000 a month to 4 different women. So I'm sure.
That sucks, doesn't it?
That's a month. So 6 times 4 is $240,000 a month. A month.
Wait, he pays 60 grand a month or 240 grand?
Well, 60 grand a month, but to 4 different women. Oh, wait a minute. Pays
I'm
nearly
imagining
$60,000 a month to 4 different. Okay, I'm sorry. I assumed that was 60 per.
Well, that's
for
his
whatever.
whole pension, right?
Yeah. Boy,
But
it's,
he also
it's got to be
pays-
tough. Who's the guy that the?
Well, here he also pays $60,000 a month for all the homes that these
Is it
women
Sean
live in.
Kemp you're thinking of in the NBA?
Sean
Didn't he
Kemp
have,
was
like,
one.
18 kids or some shit.
Ridiculous.
Oh,
Who's,
no.
who's the DB with the Jets and the Bills?
Oh,
and
right. Cromartie.
Cromartie, doesn't
Yeah.
he have? And it's like, dude,
What are you doing,
what
man?
the fuck? You've made it. You're that guy. You're the fucking 1/100th of a percent
Oh.
of people that can get to this level. What are you doing?
So foolish.
And it's like, really, you want to take that paycheck, that massive paycheck that you get, I don't know, you get 16 times a year and then have to make it last the whole year. You want to take that $1 million check you're getting and then go, I'm just going to take $500,000 right off the top and just give it to a bunch of random bitches who are housing my kids all over the country. What? You would think that, like, they would just go,
There is a cultural payoff for him in some circles.
there is?
Yes, he's got fucking cred, man. He's got cred up the ass
Boy, oh
doing
boy,
that
that's
shit.
not cred I want. That's just
I
not a
understand
cred.
that.
They should just
It's
at their
foolish as shit.
at their rookie symposiums when they do it, like, okay, here's we're going to set you up with financial guys. This is Mark Leibovitz. You guys are all going to want to get to know
LPL
him.
Financial, 626 2000.
Yes.
Ask for Merck.
Yep,
Great guy.
He's certified
Wonderful.
in all those
FINRA,
things.
SIPC.
Both, not just FINRA and or SIPC, but
Both.
FINRA and SIPC. That should be impressive. Oh, by the way, here's a story on Steve Kemp. I want you guys to all to read this.
Sean Kemp. By the way, I misspoke. It wasn't 18 kids. It was, let's see, he got 7 kids by 6 different women?
His was a weird story at the time, though. I remember. Maybe it was just because the astronomical amount of money he was making and paying out.
Yeah, no, that was it, right? Everybody was just, he was like the first one that was like, wait, what? You've got how many kids by how many different women and all of your money is going to those kids? What?
Yeah. And it's like, do you not see that this career is not something you're going to have for 30 years? You're not a Ford, engineer that's going to, well, this is what I did for 35 years professionally and then I retired. No, especially in football. You are one play away from being over. It's like, well, still owe all this money for what?
At one point, his Georgia home was foreclosed on, and he was forced to move into his girlfriend's apartment in Los Angeles.
This is T.O.
T.O.
It's just
Terrell
dude.
Owens, the dude that we saw signing
Badass.
signing the football,
Yeah.
fake
Yeah.
cell phone
Get
calls
your
at the end
popcorn
zone.
ready.
This dude at the movie
Dancing on the Dallas Star.
Yeah, he took the touchdown celebration to another level, right?
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
the one with the Sharpie in his
Yep.
sock. He went and ate the popcorn. He
Yep.
did all that shit.
The pom-poms. Remember
Yes.
he grabbed the pom-poms from the girls and started doing a routine with the cheerleaders on the
Yeah.
sideline?
Remember him doing the sit-ups in his driveway that he was holding out or something?
No, I think he was suspended by the Eagles at
That's
that
right, man.
He
doing
had
the
held a
sit-
press conference in his driveway.
Yeah, he kept ESPN busy for a while there.
He sure did. People hated him, though. They really turned on him quick. I don't know how we got there, but
Sorry.
the Jaguar that escaped, he ended up murdering 9. His body count is up to 9 now.
Okay, two of the ones in critical have perished.
Yeah, both foxes.
The alpaca. Oh, the foxes. That's right.
Didn't make it. Copper died right away, but Rusty, if you remember, Rusty was hanging on by a thread.
hanging on.
Rusty didn't make it. Yeah. It's Valerio. You're right. His name was Valerio the Jaguar. They're saying now, they were like, wow, compromised cage. The roof of his cage was compromised. He ate through his own steel bars, dude. He ate through his own steel bars.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like, I'm going to get those Packers. They've been giving me the stink eye since they got here, and it ends now. And his buddies rooted him on. Look at those Paxers. That's all 5 of them there together.
Yeah.
See them there? That's obviously before they met Valerio, but they kept giving him the stink eye. They were in the cage next door just giving him the stink eye.
Beautiful beasts.
Yeah. And so they've got these interlocking steel cables. If you wonder how strong these things are, like, you see these animals and it's like, oh, I just watched a lion rip off the bumper of a truck. Huh. With his mouth. With his mouth,
Yeah.
ripped off the bumper of a truck, a Jeep in Africa. That's insane. This guy chewed through interlocking steel bars to get out of his house so he could go on a murder spree. So The zoo officials are now looking for stronger materials. We haven't determined the final material we're going to use yet. I would recommend chicken wire. That stuff seems to, I mean, as far as like keeping those chickens in their place and keeping foxes out, it works. You know, the results are in, and chicks and wire works. So I would recommend at least looking into that. I'm no expert on zoos, but I would try starting there.
Travis Henry, 11 children with 10 women.
Sure, why not?
Former Bills running back.
Sure, he's a good one too. Running back, average career, 3 years. 3 years.
Anthony Cromartie, 12 children, 8 women.
Sure, why not? Who are those lucky 4 bitches that got multiple dudes?
Multiple Cromarties. Little Cromarties running everywhere.
What do you think he's doing? Is he just trying to up the chances that his genes are passed on and one of these kids will be able to take care of him later down the road?
Me?
I'm not saying it's a great plan, but, you know.
Calvin Murphy, 14 children with 9 women.
Isn't there someone that's got like 22 kids by 21 women or something?
14 is the most I've seen for athletes. This is just some random listing, though.
I could have sworn there was a story we did where some dude had like 20 kids by 19 women or something like that.
A non-athlete?
No,
sure.
An athlete.
Oh, really?
It was an athlete. Oh, yeah, that's true. There's guys like in weird countries that have 60 kids, you know, but...
I like this one. Mike Tyson, 8 children with an unknown number of women.
No more than 8. Unknown number.
No more than 8, no less than
8.
1. I mean,
did he have any? He didn't have any with Robin, did he?
I don't think so.
Robin Givens?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so these are just strays.
These are ones that he claims, I guess, is his. And
we are dealing with a guy who's had a little Lamborghini trouble in Detroit and went, fuck it, leave it here, and just left. So, I mean, as far as financial decisions, he wasn't worried about making extravagant ones. So, anyways, back to this guy here, the Valerio. The staffer was like feeding swamp animals. I'm assuming that means gators and such. And he was like, why are those animals making such desperate cries for help over there?
Plaintive wails.
Yeah, it was. He said, sounds of animals in distress. Assuming that was pacas, foxes, and possibly an emu.
Being ripped apart.
Yeah. And so he's like, within 20 minutes, the jaguar was hit with a trank and safely recaptured. The initial attack left 4 alpacas dead, as well as 1 emu, 1 fox. By Monday, the zoo's only surviving paca was gone, and 2 of the foxes had died. Nothing's going to happen to the jaguar itself. Joel Hamilton, who's the curator at the zoo. Fortunately, this is what jaguars do.
Honestly, that's a surprising part of the story in this day and age.
Really?
Dude, I think he should live, but don't you think most people would be like, that's outrageous, kill that beast?
They would if he killed a human.
They would what?
If he had killed a human, like if he
for
got,
sure. And
you know what I mean? Then I imagine they would.
Yes.
But with other animals, I mean, dude, it is what it is.
That doesn't surprise you, though, that people wouldn't see that, have that common sense?
Which part? That you need to take him down, or that they would want to take him?
Yes.
See, but dude, he's doing what he does. It's not his
I
fault.
understand that.
It's
I'm
not
saying
his
the
fault
biggest
you put him in a
surprise to
box.
me is that others don't see that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I gotcha. Yeah, they usually don't. And I'm more offended that he killed a bunch of packers, because those are nice guys. They really are. Yeah.
Do we know if they had been shorn recently?
I don't. You know, in this picture, they haven't been. It doesn't appear anyways.
Yeah.
Quite a long hair on that guy. They've set up a small makeshift memorial, and people are bringing flowers. Again, gone too soon. GoneTooSoon.com.
See, in this fucking day and age where there's a makeshift memorial for dead zoo animals killed by a jungle beast, in this day and age, they're allowing that jaguar to live. That's surprising to me.
Yeah,
I'm shocked that they don't want the jaguar's head on a stick.
Yeah.
Are there going to be...
Didn't they kill... well, he was black. The gorilla,
Harambe.
Harambe was murdered, but he grabbed a kid, just dragged him through a pool. I mean, that kid didn't die, right?
Remember how that kid was turned into a rag doll? No, he didn't die.
No, he didn't die.
Or that just by the ankle, just wow, what a beast.
Yeah, fun ride, though. If you're going to be okay in the end, that would be fun to be dragged through the water like that by one of those.
What a story.
Yeah, and then they killed Harambe. And then we learned that the kid's dad, who was not at the scene, had an extensive criminal record and background, which was...
Although he seemed like he was
he wasn't even there.
Oh, by the way, in case you were wondering, his father has been,
He
hasn't had
like
any
a
trouble in
DUI or
10
something,
years.
yeah.
But you go back 10 years ago, this guy was in trouble constantly.
By all accounts, the dude had turned his life around, working
Absolutely.
2 jobs, doing his best.
Not even there. He's like, motherfucker, really? Now, why is that shit in the story? I wasn't even at the zoo and shit. Poor guy. Yeah, the Jaguar. He's back in his cage. Probably high fiving everybody. They're all proud of him for. I mean, that's a pretty impressive kill count, dude.
Yeah.
Think about that. Without a gun, to murder 9
Great.
living beasts in less than an hour, that's quite a head count. I'll be honest with you. It really is. Yesterday, Jay, we were trying to get images of that wannabe politician who posted a topless picture of his wife after
Right.
she declared, or she was divorcing him, served him papers.
Correct that statement. We weren't trying to get pictures of him.
No, of her.
Yes.
We weren't even necessarily looking for the titty pics that he posted.
Just want to see what we're dealing with.
Yeah. Do we want to see titty pictures of this person? You know, that's what we were trying to decide.
Does it warrant further investigation?
David Martinez was arrested for that, for breaking Minnesota's revenge porn laws.
Mm-hmm.
He's claiming now. What do you think he's claiming?
He was hacked.
Of course he was. They
He
just
was
happened to they got a hold of my restraining order and nude pictures of my wife
Yeah.
and posted them up there and locked me out. I couldn't get in and fix it. I
Got into my phone, hacked the pictures, grabbed them, got in the backside of my website.
one day
hacked
after I was
that.
served too.
That's
I mean, just
crazy
boy, oh boy.
coincidence.
I mean, that is amazing. David Martinez, and he is absolutely says he was hacked now. I have pictures of his wife. I have a headshot, and then unfortunately there's a goddamn toddler standing in front of her body. It's hard to tell, but I think you can make out the titties. I mean, I'm for it. Jay, I probably won't ask you. I mean,
don't victimize this woman any further, Mike.
yeah, public figures. But,
Dude, she's. Are you saying should we look for her titties?
no, I didn't say that. I was.
Yeah, I have no problem looking at her like clothed, but I don't want to victimize her any further. Mike.
Yeah, I don't either. But if someone
It's
happened,
very innocent standing there with her 2 kids.
if I went, oh, you want to see these titties? You wouldn't go, oh, I don't want to victimize her anymore.
She looks fine.
Yeah. E,
Yeah,
you'd like to see her titties?
sure. I don't. I like breasts, I guess.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know. I mean, I get what Jay's saying.
Stop
I mean,
victimizing her, E. She's been through enough.
She has
you asked me.
been through enough.
You answered. Let's take a quick break. Some pictures of Giselle and Tom Brady on
Yeah.
the beach surfacing. What'd you
Costa
think?
Rica. Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. That's where you went last year, 2 years ago, whatever it was. Right?
Going on 3, I think, believe it or
Really?
not. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Zip lining through the jungle and stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. See, she looks pretty fucking good, man. And then we got another one of these kids that was like, well, my car doesn't work. Better walk to work.
I know.
20 miles away. So we'll get to those stories and much more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. Detroit Cast continues after this short break. The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
Alrighty. Welcome back, everybody.
It's always good to have a good producer, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah. Strong.
These little hiccups are transparent to podcast listeners, but to the extent anybody watches on YouTube, or
They get a different show, don't they?
it really is.
Yeah.
It's, shit.
Definitely get to see all the,
The
it's
warts.
really the sausage-making process, isn't it?
The magic of podcasting.
Mm-hmm. Some people just prefer to see the links in the packages in the grocery store, but those that watch us really get to see how it's made.
It's all just button pushing, righty?
Sure.
Wrong button pushing, but button pushing nevertheless.
Yep. We can train the monkey to push the button. He's just not always going to push the right button. And so you look over and it's like, so E, has that camera been on the whole break? Yeah, it's
Oh, I
muted,
guess
but
it's been
it is.
muted. Don't worry, it's been muted.
We've been burned so many times, though. I mean, the audio of when we discussed when the Drewcast first started, and we were discussing on camera, on mic during a break, going to 105.1, and that's how the folks at 105.1 learned they were losing jobs.
Oh, man.
It was like, oh boy, it was in Crane's Detroit magazine before we finished the show, and
because E pushed a button.
no, it wasn't E. It wasn't E that time. I can't remember who
You
it
don't have
was,
to name
but
names.
yeah, we won't name names, but yeah, people love pointing those mistakes out to us,
Yeah.
which is always fun to hear about.
There was one where we left the cameras on, Isis and I did, and I was like going over to the producer's computer to start typing in the show notes and stuff. And I'm like picking my nose and scratching my ass and stuff. And like 5 minutes into this process, oh shit, are these cameras still on? I mean,
my bad. Yep, they
still
are. Great.
That's
Of course,
beautiful.
the one day I pick my nose and scratch my balls. it's on
yeah, it
camera.
just shows what actually happens, right?
Yeah, sure does. Anyway,
Dude, we were talking about athletes, older athletes getting back into it.
some of us more impressed than others, but yeah, I remember.
Dude, have you guys played spike ball? Because I'm still sore from a game of spike ball that I
Sure,
played on
Mike, no
Saturday.
offense, but I'm sure Mike has not.
Yeah.
But I
Played a
familiar
few
with this?
rounds.
you know what it is?
Obviously, I know what it is, but for the lay,
Well,
Which
let me,
expl-
let
it
me
sounds
just
like a
ask you
volleyball.
let me ask you what your basic thought on the game
look,
is. Like,
was I the
what's your
best
stra-
spike ball
what's your
player on the
strategy
field?
normally?
That's debatable.
On the field.
whether I was the
Well,
best,
just
but
by
the
saying the
field.
field, just
Yeah,
so,
you mean the beach, right?
yeah, whatever. The pitch,
sand.
the sand. Yeah. Am I the best always on the pitch? I don't know. That's for other people to decide. But
Look,
yeah, go ahead and
spike ball,
explain it.
Spike ball is basically like picture a hula hoop about ankle high,
Sure.
and it has a net across it, and it's played kind of like volleyball, I guess. I mean, you have this small rubber ball that you slam against the net, and you rotate. So it's like it's my team's turn to hit it, and then the next one of the members of the other team has to hit it next off the net. And you can pass it to each other by sort of like setting in volleyball.
Sure.
But you end up diving all. This is the most awful picture you could provide of this game, E, because
There's
it
got
is-
to be video out
It
there.
is
Isis.
literally like 9-year-olds playing this game. This game is a young man's game, but it is intense, man.
Yeah.
Talking diving
Oh,
all
now
over the place.
that looks like
Yeah.
a sport I want to play.
It's really cool. But yeah, so you're
Where were you
bouncing
playing this? In when you were on the west side of the
Manistee,
state?
yeah, on the beach.
Yeah.
On the beach. But I'm still my neck, man. I think I got
Really?
whiplash.
You need to go to
I think I'm gonna
that male
sue it.
masseuse.
Oh, my strong-handed male masseuse.
Yeah, where's he at again?
He's at systematicmassage.com.
Right.
Just contact John over there. He'll take care of you.
Yeah, go over there. You're running into Jay quite
The
frequently.
man massages horses. Okay? That's how strong his hands are.
Absolutely.
But, Mike, we would have loved this game as kids.
yeah, dude, I love beach games.
Well,
water
that's the
games.
thing.
They're fun
is,
as shit.
like, how many
man.
times do we not have quite enough people to play a good round of volleyball or
Yeah.
something? Dude, you just have 3-4 people, and you can play this thing in a condensed area. It's really cool.
So what does it bounce then off the net
Yes.
and then
The
pops
net
back
sort of
up?
kills it because you're slamming it down, and the net kills some of its momentum so that you have a chance to get to it.
So are you supposed to stay inside that ring? I
We
noticed
didn't
a white
have a ring,
there.
but maybe that's the rules. Is you have a
Oh, so the net's kind of like a trampoline.
correct,
almost.
but it
Okay.
does deaden the shot a bit.
Yeah,
Supposed
yeah,
to be
yeah.
like a top 10.
Had you ever played before?
No,
Did you like it?
I really liked it.
Yeah,
it was
Dude,
fun.
I was telling you about that frisbee game we were playing where Troy stuck spikes in the water and then put beer can.
Come on,
Dude, it was
Mike.
just fun though.
Mike.
It was just fun. Like,
No,
Do you think
singing a frisbee and smacking cans? It was great.
Telling us about hitting fucking cans off a pole.
Okay,
dude, this has been around for 30 years, man. It's been around as long as beer and poles have been around.
So what? I could tan and drink beers during my game, and yours was more athletic.
No, I feel like to some extent I'm informing someone in the room of a new activity. You throwing frisbees at beer cans on poles, that is not a new activity, man.
To my own point,
I'm tell us about washer toss next?
I was having fun. Oh, you mean when I just kept, yeah, it happened. What did I do?
What do you call that? Was it rimming it or whatever?
What is it called?
Rimming it. Edging.
I don't know.
It's apparently almost impossible. People will go their entire careers and never do it. Just because I did it twice in the first time I ever played it. You can look into that as far as you want.
What's the concept? Throwing the washer toward the...
It's a box, and it's got a can.
But you were leaving the washer on the edge of the box, and you were very impressed by that?
If you get it in the wooden box, it's like 1 point. You get it in the can, it's 3. But if you land it on the edge of the 2x4s that are making the box, if you can land it on that edge somehow, I mean, it's almost impossible. Don't even try it,
I've never heard
folks.
of that scoring.
Didn't people email in
points.
afterward and go, dude, it happens every game?
Look.
I've actually never seen it happen. But
I was playing with a bunch of guys, and you could tell because one of the things, kind of a pain in the ass, is like, get the Sharpie. This guy's got to autograph the box, because he got one of these. It's so rare. And so does
with a bunch of rookies.
So I have my ring, and then I have to draw it. I have to outline it on the wood, and then I have to sign it. And I had to do it twice. It was like, oh, God, I feel like a dick. Nobody's name is on here. Half these guys don't have a name on here, but mine's on there twice. It's my first game. So I can't remember what they call it exactly, but it's pretty sweat. You've played before. You've never gotten
washers
those, right?
Many a time in my life. I didn't even realize that was a scoring thing.
Yeah,
I didn't either. I didn't realize there was anybody who hadn't played washers before last year.
Yeah, well, I did last year and dominated, but whatever.
Good.
Whatever. Yeah. I kind of want to play that game. Do you have one of those?
We do.
You do?
Russell and Manny have
Why don't you bring it over?
No, you're not equipped to do this. You have to dive, Mike. Are you ready to dive?
Diving.
You're not equipped to do this. This is honestly.
Can't we play like a
crazy.
basic game?
No,
where it's just...
no, it's no fun if you play basic.
How do you know? I've never played it before.
Because we had to learn. Me and Dave, the other guy, we had to learn from Manny and Russell. And until we were willing to start diving and shit, it just wasn't even a.
What makes you think I'm opposed to diving?
Nothing.
He has no faith in me. Does he? Do you think you could play?
Yeah, you could probably flop around a little bit.
I'm good at those games usually.
You know what I couldn't do? Walk 20 miles to work.
Right.
That would be troublesome. Who are these people?
This is the second story, right, that we've heard about this, where the guy walked upwards of 15 to 20 miles.
It's a great thing. All you need is to put that story out there, and you get a free car. You win a free car if you walk, 15, 20 miles to work.
If he's doing it right now, he's doing it regularly.
No, this was his first day on the job, man.
That's bullshit. I walked to work once when I was in Holland. My car wouldn't start, and I had to work at the restaurant, and I walked. It was probably only like 5 miles. But
wow, it's not going to get your car.
I know.
5 miles, you can do that in your sleep. But,
I know.
Walt Carr here, 20 years old, and night before his first day on the job. Care to explain what just happened there, Jay? Do we have a hole in our mouth? Do we forget how to drink properly?
Got a frozen water bottle.
Okay. Yeah. All right, you're off the hook then.
Water just slammed me.
Yeah, got all your face and shirt. Boy, that's embarrassing. Boy, oh boy. I hope that was on camera, E.
You were talking, so I guess it wasn't.
Shit. Anyway, night before his new job, his 2003 Nissan Altima breaks down. And he's just like, fuck, I got this new job. Calls his buddies, calls his girlfriend. They're all like, go fuck yourself, Which
can't help you.
Isn't that kind of weak that you can't find one at 20 years old? You can't find one friend or even your girlfriend to give you a ride to work the next day?
Is he new to the area or something? I don't know.
He's
got a few friends who have to go to work themselves.
Yeah, you would think that, it's like, dude, I don't care if I have to get there an hour early. Can you just drive me there?
Right.
I need help here. Why would you Uber it? I guess he didn't have a job. He's probably hasn't gotten paid yet, but nothing worked out. So he checked his GPS. How they do that? Like, well, if you're flying, if you're walking, if you're driving, it's this long. And so he's looking, he's like, well, about 7 hours. And so starting around midnight, he just starts hoofing it.
It's like, I got to be there by 8. I want to make sure I'm there on time.
Yeah.
Get there a little early.
Oh, shit. So he did it at
Starts
night.
huffing
That's kind
it
of
at
crazy.
night.
Yeah.
Cops stop. Hey, man, what are you doing?
He was black, so they see him walking down the road, up to no good probably, they assume. And so they pull over.
That was sarcasm, by the way.
Yeah, that was. If anyone was offended by that, I apologize, but it was purely
Any
sarcasm.
new listeners, that was sarcasm.
It was playing on the stereotype that black people on the road in public late at night must be up to no good. You know, it was mocking that stereotype is what I was doing. Anyway, he's walking about 4 a.m. Cop pulls up next to him, was like, so where are you going? He's like, all right, dude, this is going to sound absurd and ridiculous, but I'm actually going to work. And tells him the story. And so the cop, he's like, the cops are like, well, let's take you to breakfast at Whataburger. They buy him Whataburger.
Nice.
And then they get him lunch, too, for later. Here's a carry-out to go.
And then why didn't they just take him the extra few miles to work?
I don't know.
Because he gets back on the road to walk.
They took him to, like, a church. Okay? The only thing I could think of was maybe it was, like, crossed a county line or their jurisdiction didn't allow. I don't know. Because why wouldn't you just take him the extra 7 miles and go, dude, here you are. You're at work now. But they didn't. And they're like, we'll take you to this church. It's like 4 a.m. It's probably safest here. And get a little rest, you know, and then continue on your way. We're going to send another cop out to check on you. And so this other cop pulls up. At this point, he's like 4 miles from work. And this cop's like, hey, man, are you Walter Carr? He's like, yep. He's like, get in the car. I got you. And so that cop took him. I guess he was working for he was starting this job at it was like a moving company.
Maybe it was too early. I mean, at that point, if they're saying 4 a.m, what were they going to do? Drive him to his place and then have him just sit out? I'm just saying. So maybe they thought this. If they knew that probably someone would pick him up later, if that was the plan, the cop would check on him later, pick him up, and take him. They took him to the church to rest.
I like Mike's thing better.
Yeah, it's like,
county line.
I can't cross this line, bro. Otherwise, insurance is out the window. Who knows?
Picture Roscoe Pico Train locking him up at the county line. You know, he can't go any further. Dick boys beat him.
And who knows? Maybe
I don't know. Why wouldn't they just drop him off then? Like, why?
Because they didn't want to drop him off at his job at 4 a.m. So they thought, hey, we'll get him to this church. He'll be safe. We're gonna check on him again, knowing that really the cop later was just.
Okay,
gonna
I like where he's going here. Maybe it's in a bad area. Maybe the warehouse or wherever he's going is not the safest area.
Come on, Mike doesn't even.
Well, now you've just slowed the fucking kid up.
Hey, if we're going to engage in complete conjecture, I think he might be onto something.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Why
Crossing state lines is more appropriate.
Why would it not make sense?
Because
that they wouldn't just
all they did was make sure he was going to be late to work.
How?
They took him to breakfast and then got him carry out and then took him to a church and told him to take a nap.
You just told me they were going to take him to church at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I mean, what his job starts at 8, so what, they're going to drop him off at his job and just have him sit in the parking lot for 4 hours?
Yeah, I'm back with Mike again.
No,
it's weird that they didn't just drop him off at his job.
It is.
That's ridiculous.
He was going to Bellhop's Moving Company. And so his first line item of the day one of the job was you're going over to Jenny Lamey's house, and he's scheduled to help them move. And so they get there, and the cop's like, you guys are going to believe what this kid just did. He blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, my God, you need to rest.
Yeah.
Take a nap. He's like, bitch, I'm here to work. I'm helping you move. You know, I don't want to be taking a nap on day one. And so after the move, she ends up posting the story on Facebook. Oh, my God, I met the most incredible kid. Here's what he did.
Yeah.
And, you know, that gets up to the owner of the company, and they're like, oh, this kid's amazing. You know, what can we do to help him? And
what
that
can
guy,
we do to monopolize on this situation on our social media?
How do I look like a brilliant owner and a nice guy? He's like, you want the keys to my car? You can have it. You can take my, I think he had a Ford Escape. He's like, it's yours now. Gives the kid, I don't know if it was a lease or if he bought it outright, but gave the kid the car. Cool. And then this couple is online, and they're like, oh my God, I'm starting to GoFundMe for him. And they sent like $2,000, probably thinking, you know, before the car was given to him, you know, get this kid some cash, go towards the car. So they set a goal of $2,000, and as of yesterday, it was like $8,500. And that's before this story really launched in the media. So I imagine,
dude, it pays to work hard, right? Be committed to shit.
Yes. And that's what the owner of the company said. He said he's a humble and kind and cheerful. He's got big dreams. And Luke Marklin is the CEO, and he started getting texts from people that are like, dude, did you hear about this kid that works for your company? And that's when he got his team together, and I was just blown away. The more we learn, the more we realize he's just a special person, and that's when he gifted him the Escape. And
apparently former Marine, too, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, this reminds us, of course, of 56-year-old James Robertson, who began walking back and forth from work when his car broke down for 10 years.
Yeah.
Remember that? Like a 21-mile round
That was
trip.
here.
Yeah, that's right. And he ended up
but then there was
a
a whole
getting
big
an apartment and a car and all that shit.
Remember there was a whole big deal about like the people in his life that were like, he had some girlfriend that was pissed afterwards or something because he got.
Oh yeah, didn't they want money part of it? Yeah, always.
There's always drama with people that are.
guys troubled when you see these stories? Like, who can't find one friend to take them somewhere? Like,
I mean,
that
it
guy's
sucks,
for
but
10 years. You couldn't save enough money to buy a hoopty. I mean, you could get a piece of shit for $500.
Yeah.
You know, it's just to me.
You
It's
don't
like,
know,
dude,
You just don't know, man. The reality, like he could be in a, he could be that one person out of his group of friends that's actually trying to do good, and his friends are, who knows, selling drugs. I don't know. I mean,
wow, because he's black.
no, but I'm just saying.
Jesus Christ.
You say that. I mean, you just don't know if he's the one
Sorry.
person in his group of friends that's actually responsible, and maybe he doesn't have that.
Why would this absolute responsible, hardworking gentleman hang out with such losers?
Well, then maybe he doesn't have any friends because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy started his day at 8 a.m. in Detroit, and he'd walk up Woodward and end up in Rochester Hills.
What was that? He got picked up by a cop. How did that story blow up? Was it a cop that picked him up and then it went viral? They bought him a bike or something, or?
I don't think
But
so.
it went viral as
It
shit.
definitely did. I don't think
that was more of an amazing story because it was just because of how long he'd been doing it.
Right, this kid just did it one day. That
And
kid been
I think
doing
we
it.
took issue with him. Like, dude, this is so wasteful. You're getting up at 3 in the morning, and like your day is 4 times as long as it needs to be. It's just not. It's not right.
Like if he just found a job, even if it made half as much, but was like,
Dude walks for like 15 hours a day.
Right.
And
It's insane.
I think maybe we're troubled by. I don't think he. I would think that you'd be super, super fit if you were walking that much a day. And I don't know that my man was.
Yeah, he's not awful. The images I'm looking at.
I don't know if I don't know